Mama se kungi betengo e kumoyi ingumada takana. Okyo sokinu kibangase. Manuele ngando mushisamye. Manuele.
Yeah. To the Feet Podcast coming at you with another video. I recently saw this question posed by an individual. He was curious to know, how does one remember the patterns that they're learning? And second of all, how do you combine all those patterns to string them into, one beautiful dance? He complained that unfortunately he did not have a dance partner outside of class, and he also was only able to take class once a week. So he's very curious to hear from you all. I would love to hear from you all. How would you answer this question? How were you able to remember patterns and string them together? And how did you overcome maybe not being able to have a dance partner, or only being able to take class once a week? I just want to give my take on this, my 2 cents. I completely understand at the beginner stage how it can be extremely boring and tedious to just go over your basics and to go over what you just learned. But understand that going over what you were just taught in class over and over again is how you get better. Focusing on the basics, focusing on the small things that you can remember, it helps you become a better dancer in the long run. And if you feel that you know it, understand that there are always more aspects to improve upon. And what I mean to be more specific is, you could focus on your lead communication. You could always focus on your body movement. You could focus on the tension. You could focus on just having a fun time. Instead of just comparing yourself to others, focus on just trying to have a fun time going out dancing. I think another tremendous skill, or a tremendous skill to obtain, is if you are a leader, learn to follow, and if you are a follower, learn to lead. This can boost your dancing immensely. Seriously, learning the opposite role, once you're at a good level, I wouldn't recommend it at the beginner levels, but once you're at that right level where you kind of have a good, firm grasp of the basics, then switch over to the other part. That's only if you want to. But if you can learn both lead and follow of any dance, it becomes such beneficial. It behooves you so much because you understand what it takes to lead a certain move, and then you also understand, what is a clear signal and what is a muddy signal. So learning both, I cannot recommend that enough. I also want to highly recommend private classes. I cannot, preach highly enough for them. Group classes are wonderful. They give you an opportunity, to socialize. You get to practice what you're learning on different individuals, which is very, very important. Not just practicing with your one dance partner. When you get to try and do that pattern or that move with 3 or 4 different other individuals, you learn how to lead it properly. But with private classes, what makes them so amazing and so valuable is that if you can find a very reputable instructor, that instructor is teaching to you and not to a group setting. So he is focusing on what you're doing properly and improperly, and they can help rectify those issues immediately. So yes, I understand that private classes, they can cost, and it all depends on, how much you want to invest in this. But if you truly want to be an amazing dancer, private classes are a grade A investment. And finally, I want to say also, I'd like to recommend this to more maybe intermediate dancers, people who definitely have a firm grasp and who maybe are just having difficulties, with their creativity. I think a great thing you can do is go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go on YouTube, and find other dancers and see and watch their style, see how they incorporate their moves. It's a great way for you to, 1, gain inspiration, and 2, be able to, it's kind of like a key, and it allows your brain to realize all the possibilities there are. A lot of the flashy dancing that you're seeing nowadays, it's very intricate, it's very impressive, but if you really break it down, everything stems from the basics. And so what I can say is, You know, in salsa, which is an easy example for myself, in salsa, you know, how many moves do you truly have? You have a right turn, left turn. You have cross body lead. You have like a back break. You know, there's only but so many moves, and everything else is just a derivative of that move. You know, done in a different way, done in a more flashy way. So you know, just being able to look at other dancers and see what they're doing can be a very great source of inspiration. But I say hold off on that if you're a new dancer, because understand that what they're doing may look easy, but they've practiced it. And the last thing you want to do is to try a move that you're not comfortable with or your partner's not comfortable with, and you could potentially hurt yourself or them. And that is the last thing that we want on the dance floor. Like I said earlier, these are just some thoughts and opinions that I had on this. I would absolutely love to hear from you all. You know, what are your opinions on this topic? You know, thank you so much.